The last episode we mentioned about a hormone activity that was called menstrual cycle. So what really is it? We will tell you what it is and how it functions. So, what is menstrual cycle? It is the monthly sequence of changes that a woman's body goes through in preparation for the potential of pregnancy. It is also known as menstrual cycle. Women usually call it a period, menstrual, or cycle. Menstrual cycle takes about 28 days and occurs in three stages. They are the follicular phase, the ovulatory phase, and the luteal phase. The menstrual cycle involves four primary hormones, chemicals that activate or regulate the functioning of cells and or organs that are follicle-stimulating hormone, luteinizing hormone, estrogen, and progesterone. Now let's come to the first phase, the follicular phase. First, the brain releases follicle-stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone which go through the bloodstreams to the ovaries. The hormone stimulates the ovaries to produce 15 to 20 eggs, each in its own shell known as a follicle. These hormones also cause a rise in the development of estrogen, which is a feminine hormone. When estrogen level rises, it switches off the production of follicle-stimulating hormone like a switch. The hormones balance and allow it to restrict the number of follicles that will prepare eggs for release. One follicle in each ovary becomes dominant and continues to ebb to major as the follicle period proceeds. All the other follicles in the group are controlled by one dominating follicle. As a result, they cease to grow and eventually expire. Estrogen is still produced by the dominant follicle. The next phase of menstrual cycle is the ovulatory phase. Ovulatory phase starts after follicular phase started about 14 days and it applies differently in each person. It is also called the process of discharging egg. So what happened in this phase? The increase in luteinizing hormone produced by the brain is triggered by the rise in estrogen from the dominant follicle. This also causes the dominant follicle to release its egg from the ovary. The egg is caught by the finger-like structures on the end of the fallopian tubes as it is expelled. The egg is swept into the tube by the fimbria. Many women feel an increase in egg-white cervical mucus 1 to 5 days before ovulation. This mucus is the vaginal secretion that aids in the capture and nourishment of sperm on their way to fertilize the egg. Finally, we have come to the last phase of the development of egg in the female reproductive system. The luteal phase started right away when the ovulatory phase ended. The luteal phase, the empty ovarian follicle develops into a new structure called the corpus luteum after it releases its egg. The estrogen and progesterone hormones are secreted by the corpus luteum. Progesterone prepares the uterus for the implantation of a fertilized egg. If there has been intercourse and a man's sperm has fertilized the egg, a process known as conception, the fertilized egg, known as an embryo, will travel via the fallopian tube and implant in the uterus. The woman is now presumed to be pregnant. The egg goes through the uterus. If it's not fertilized, the uterus lining breaks down and sheds, signaling the beginning of the next menstrual period. Somebody may question that which phase has the highest percentage of having a baby. The answer is the ovulation phase. It is essential that both you and your partner know when the ovulation phase begins if you want to have a baby. And here's our suggestion. If you want to have an easy baby, sperm can be in the female reproductive systems for 5 to 6 days, so intercourse before the ovulation period from 2 to 3 days will increase the pregnancy rate. There are around 1 million eggs at birth with only about 300,000 remaining by puberty. Only 300 to 400 of them will be fertilized over a woman's reproductive lifetime, which means if you decide to have kids around the age of 30s to 40s, you will have the higher percentage of not getting pregnant. Remember that.
That's all. See you in the next episode.